Hello, everyone. My name is Mama Bonnie, and I'm so happy to see you here back at the burrow. And to all of our new friends, hello. It's so nice to meet you. How was your day? I hope it went well. And now that you're here, my day's gotten even better. Last story time, we started reading A Comet in Moominland, and we left off with the muskrat saying that something was gonna happen. Oh, I'm so excited to find out what. But we can't have our story unless we're all comfy cozy. So make sure you're wearing something comfy. And don't forget to bring your favorite stuffy. I think they're gonna want to hear the story too. And don't you? Oh, well then, are we all comfy? Let's get started, shall we? Tonight's story, we'll be reading a chapter 2, Comet in Moominland. A chapter 2, which is about stars with tails. Next day, it was cloudy. The muskrat went out in the garden and lay in the hammock to think. And Moomin Papa wrote his memoirs in the sky blue room. A Moomin troll was hanging about in the kitchen door. "Mama," he said, "do you think the muskrat meant anything special when he mentioned those forebodings?" "I don't think he meant so very much," said Moomin Mama. "And don't worry about it, dear. Perhaps he just got a chill in all that rain and felt a bit queer. And now run along with Sniff and collect some pears from the blue trees." A Moomin Troll went, but he was very thoughtful and decided he would talk to the muskrat about it later. He and Sniff carried the longest ladder they could find up the hill. "Are we going to my cave?" asked Sniff. "Yes," answered Moomin Troll. "Later. But first, we have to collect some pears for Mama." When they reached the biggest blue tree, they saw the silk monkey sitting up in the branches, waving to them. "Hello," she screeched. "What awful weather! My house is sopping wet, and the whole forest is beastly. Are you coming to hunt for crabs?" "We haven't time," said Moomin Troll. "Mama is gonna make some jam, and besides, we've got more important things to think about." "Tell," said the silk monkey. "I can't tell you, except that something is going to happen," said Moomin Troll. "Something dreadful and unnecessary that nobody knows much about. But there has been a strange feeling in the air lately," said the silk monkey. "Very funny." "Now shut up," said Moomin Troll, putting the ladder up against the blue tree. "And try to be helpful for a change." It was great fun to pick these pears, because you could throw them down as hard as you liked, and they bounced off the ground like rubber balls. A Moomin Troll and the other two picked and threw and shouted, and the pears hopped and bounced in all directions. until the ground was covered with them. The silk monkey laughed until she nearly fell off the tree. "That's enough," gasped Moomin Troll at last. "We can't eat that much jam in a year. Now we'll roll the whole lot down to the river. I'll stop them at the bridge. You stay here and take care of this end, Silk Monkey, and Sniff can keep an eye on the water transport."
"Roll the pears into the river,"
screamed Sniff excitedly, and he ran off to the river, while the Silk Monkey rolled the pears one after another down the slope, and they plopped, swirled round in the current, and bounced over the stones. A Sniff ran here and there, poking them with a long stick, when they got caught up on their journey down to the bridge, where Moomin Troll trapped them and stacked up a big pile on the bank. After a time, Moomin Momma came out of the house with a big gong. "Lunchtime, children," she cried. "Well," said Moomin Troll as they came up to the garden, "haven't we picked a lot?" "You certainly have," exclaimed Moomin Momma. "I've never seen so many pears." "Then can we take our lunch out?" said Moomin Troll. "To a secret place we have?"
"Oh, please,"
entreated Sniff.
"with lots of food, so that there's enough for the silk monkey. And could we have lemonade too?"
"Yes, of course, dears," said Moomin Momma, and she wrapped up all kinds of good things and put them in a basket, with an umbrella on top to be on the safe side. The weather was still dull and gray when they reached the cave. Moomin Troll had been rather quiet on the way up, worrying about his pearls. And directly they had crept through the opening, "Someone has been here,"
"In my cave?
screamed Sniff.
Wretched wretch."
The pearls, which they had left neatly arranged in rows, had been collected together in the middle of the floor in a pattern. "You might as well count them anyway," said Moomin Troll to the Silk Monkey, who had joined them in the wood. "You're the treasurer." She counted them 4 times, and then once more for luck, but she always got a different answer. "How many were there before?" asked Moomin Troll.
"I can't remember,"
said the Silk Monkey.
"but the answer was different every time I counted them then, too."
"Oh," said Moomin Troll. "Well, that must be right, I suppose. But I wonder who could have been here." They sat, looking gloomily at the pattern of pearls.
"It does look like something,"
said Sniff at last.
"A star, I think, with a tail,"
said the Silk Monkey. Sniff looked suspiciously at her.
"I suppose it wasn't you who did this,"
he said, for he had remembered how the Silk Monkey had made her curly flourish, marking the mysterious path on all the tree trunks.
"It could have been me,"
she said.
"But this time it happens to have been someone else."
"It could have been anybody," said Moomin Troll. "But never mind now. Let's eat first." So they unpacked pancakes sandwiches, bananas, and lemonade from their basket and divided it all into 3 equal parts. And then there was silence for some minutes while they all munched happily. When everything was finished, they dug a hole in the sand and buried the paper and banana skins. And after that, they dug another hole and buried the pearls. Then Moomin Troll said, "And now I've eaten and thought, and everything is a little clearer. This star with a tail must be either a warning or a threat. Perhaps somebody is angry with us for some reason. A secret society, for instance."
Do you think it's somewhere near?
asked Sniff, beginning to get anxious.
It might easily be angry with me, mightn't it?
"Yes, you especially," said Moomin Troll. "That's very likely. Perhaps this is its cave you have discovered." Sniff went very pale and said,
Perhaps we should go home?
Nobody took any notice of this, of course. They went out on the ledge and looked at the sea instead. It was like a huge gray silk eider down with white flowers on it. The flowers were seagulls resting on the water with their heads pointing out to the sea. Suddenly, the silk monkey began to laugh.
Look,
She said,
those funny seagulls think they're embroidery. They've just formed themselves into a big star.
"With a tail!" exclaimed Moomin Troll. A Sniff began to tremble violently. Then he took to his heels and ran along the ledge, quite forgetting that he had once been afraid of falling. Across the sand and off towards Moomin Valley. On the way, he stumbled over tufts of grass and roots, and got entangled with branches, and fell on his nose, splashed through a stream, and arrived in the valley at last, quite dizzy and exhausted. He shot like an arrow into Moomin House. "What is it now?" asked Moomin Momma, who sat stirring the jam. A Sniff crept very close to her and hid his nose in her apron.
A secret society is after me,
He whispered.
it's coming to get me, and
"Not while I'm here," said Moomin Momma. "Now, what about a nice saucepan to lick out?"
I daren't.
Whimpered Sniff.
Not now. Perhaps never.
A little later on, he said,
Well, perhaps just the edge. While I'm waiting.
when Moomin Troll arrived, his mother's biggest jam pot was already full, and Sniff was just licking out the bottom of the saucepan. Said Moomin Troll. "A strange going-ons."
What now?
asked Sniff, looking up anxiously from the saucepan. "Nothing," answered Moomin Troll, who didn't want to frighten him still more. "I'm going to talk to the muskrat for a bit." The muskrat was still lying in his hammock and thinking. "And good afternoon, Uncle Muskrat," said Moomin Troll. "Do you know that things have begun to happen?" Nothing new in any case, said the muskrat. Oh, yes, said Moomin Troll. Completely new. There are people in the forest making secret signs everywhere. Threats or warnings or something. When the silk monkey and I came home a little while ago, somebody had arranged Momma's jam pears in a pattern that looked like a star with a tail. The muskrat looked at him with his shiny black eyes, twitched his mustache, but said nothing. There is something going on, persisted Moomin Troll. The seagulls made the same star, and so did the path of the ants in the woods. I believe it's a secret society threatening the little animal Sniff with revenge. The muskrat shook his head. I have every respect for your deductions, he said. But you are wrong, completely and absolutely, and without any doubt. Oh, well, that's a good thing. Of course, it's all the same to me. But I must admit I feel a trifle gratified that my foreboding was correct. What do you mean? Asked Moomin Troll. That something unnecessary is going to happen? The muskrat brooded silently. His forehead creased with wrinkles. Do you know what a star with a tail means? He asked at last. No, said Moomin Troll. It's a comet, said the muskrat. A glowing star that flashes through the empty black space beyond the sky, trailing a fiery tail behind it. Well, strike me pink, exclaimed Moomin Troll, and his eyes became black with terror. Will it come here? I have not considered that point very deeply, answered the muskrat. Perhaps it will come, perhaps not. It's all the same to a person who knows that everything is unnecessary. The Moomin Troll looked up at the calm gray sky, a thought how everydayish it was. But all the same, he muttered, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Now I think I shall go to sleep, said the muskrat. Run off and play, my child. Play as long as you can. The Moomin Troll hesitated. Just one more thing, he said. Is there anybody who knows a little more about the habits of comets? Someone who knows if this one will hit the Earth or not? The professors in the observatory on the lonely mountains ought to know that, said the muskrat. If they know anything at all, that is. But now, run away and leave me in peace. A Moomin Troll went off deep in thought.
What did he say?
Asked Sniff, who was waiting round the corner.
Was it really a secret society?
No, said Moomin Troll.
And not one of those sky monsters either?
Asked Sniff anxiously.
Not a scorpion or a bear?
No, said Moomin Troll. Don't worry about it anymore.
But why are you looking so serious?
Sniff asked. I'm thinking, said Moomin Troll, I'm thinking about you and me going on an expedition. That'll be the longest we've ever had. We are going to find the observatory on the Lonely Mountains and look at the stars through the biggest telescope in the world. And we had better go as soon as possible.
And that's the end of chapter 2.
Oh my,
And going to the Lonely Mountains. Why, that sounds like quite a journey. I hope they get there okay. But we'll have to find out in chapter 3. And now then, little ones, it's getting late and we should go to sleep. So, get all snuggled up underneath your blanket. Hold your favorite stuffy tight, 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 so they know they are loved. Oh, and dream some wonderful dreams. And while you're having those wonderful dreams, I'll get our next chapter ready for next time. How does that sound? And always remember, Mama Bunny loves you very, very much. And good night.